This is my appeal to like those looks maxing dudes. Like that's a whole thing.
Literally. Like, if you're trying to be like this powerful alpha male, who is more of a powerful alpha male than the Holy Roman Empire Emperor? Like, you should be, doing the jaw exercises to get it down and not just out. It should be like ideally Russian collarbone. You can't go like that comfortably. That's what
That
women want.
Yeah, we should collectively gaslight like Gen Alpha, the men, to be Habsburgmaxxing. Welcome back to War is Stupid, an anti-war podcast about war. I'm really excited about today's guest. We got Emily Baker, a comedian, which is going to be awesome. I'm excited. My mom is super excited. I called her earlier today. I recorded an episode with Mara Cronenfeld from the UN, and it was fucking devastating. So I called my mom crying because I needed a hug, and then I said, "Don't worry, I'm also having a comedian on tonight." So thank you for the much needed palate cleanser. Welcome, Emily.
Oh my God, thank you so much for having me. Wow, I cannot believe I am going after someone who works at the UN. Your range is amazing.
Yeah, exactly. And I mentioned earlier, I need to diversify so that I can post on TikTok.
But yeah, I guess the kids don't want to learn stuff. They don't want to learn like real things. Yeah,
nothing too spicy for Larry Ellison. Emily is an ideal guest because she hosts a history-themed comedy show here in New York called Antique Joke Show, and was super excited to talk about the 30 Years' War. I'm very grateful to talk about something that happened 700 years ago.
Oh my God. Yeah, it's a crazy one. Hi, thank you for having me. I'm really excited to be here. Also on my show, Orli did like a presentation version of the episodes on World War I, and it was gorgeous, and all my friends said that they loved you.
Thank you, friends. And that
You're
perfectly
welcome.
leads me to my first question, which was, what was the 30 Years' War, and where does it fall on the stupidity destructiveness graph?
Oh boy. Okay. So like obviously like, warfare went like crazy in like World War I, but like before that, it was like pretty up there okay, so 30 Years War. It's kind of like two different ones, but it's altogether one from like 1618 to 1648. It's basically Protestants versus Catholics, as it always is. But then it's also just like, or like at least in that time, it's like always Protestants versus Catholics. The Calvinists are there doing their thing. Yeah, Protestants versus Catholics, but it's also just like kind of every major power in Europe kind of joining in this little dispute in the Holy Roman Empire and just like kind of swinging their dicks around. And it was incredibly destructive. There was like widespread famine throughout. There was apparently witch burnings like really, really increased at this time. Like besides like obviously like, Salem, other classic witch burning eras, this was definitely like one of them. Because people were feeling a little weird.
And why did it happen? So
Okay.
was it a war of succession?
Like, yeah, okay. So basically, the Europe's like main big superpower for a long time was Holy Roman Empire, and ruled by the Habsburg families. If you ever see a picture in the museum where a guy's chin is down to like here and looks just not great, that's gonna be a Habsburg, and they're beautiful to me. No, they're not. They're bad people, but
As
like,
seen in art galleries, but also the episode of 30 Rock where Pee Wee Herman plays.
Oh my God, wait.
Yeah, he plays like a Habsburg heir, like after
and his jaw is truly like the side of his face.
Yeah, like so
hanging down.
Beyond inbred.
That's so beautiful. Oh my God, that really unlocked something that I had forgotten about. So thank you for that, first of all. But yeah, so like basically Holy Roman Empire, those inbred little freaks are kind of ruling things. Obviously we have the Protestant Reformation in the 1500s, and that's crazy, where Martin Luther like nails his shit to the door and is like, we should be able to read the Bible, and whatever all of his other things is, and also like you shouldn't be able to buy your way into heaven, whatever his qualms were. But so, in the area of the Holy Roman Empire, there was like a big Protestant faction. There's the Catholic Habsburgs. It's a lot of just like drama between who's Catholic, who's Protestant. And, each Habsburg Holy Roman Emperor had like a different level of toleration towards, the religious differences. And also, so yeah, that's, oh my God, that is not eloquent, but that is what I know.
And yeah, so I'm Jewish, and like Protestant.
Same.
Oh yes, okay.
Blonde Jews can be blonde.
Yeah, we come in blonde also. So
no,
the like white on white crime, the fact that millions of people were killed for millennia, when it's like, guys, like you both believe in Jesus.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing. Like, they're like just like so crazy about it. Like, I don't know. My favorite Habsburg emperor, though. Can we do that? Can we talk
Please,
about my diva, my flop king? The Habsburg Empire, emperor who kind of, sort of in like a butterfly effect, like the assassination of Franz Ferdinand. You know how that was big. One thing after. His rule was kind of that for the 30 Years' War, where like, so he's this guy, he's born in, he reigned from 1576 to 1612 in the Holy Roman Empire. So at this time, the Habsburgs are located in Austria and Spain. And so they send him to Spain to go and like have a bad time. Like he's at like his weird Uncle Philip's house with his little brother, and he's just like, I think like getting like beaten and being like, tell us stuff in Latin. And I think he's like not in a good place. But then he gets to go back to Austria and eventually becomes the Holy Roman Emperor. And so, in his region and in his realm, there's, again, a lot of conflict between Catholics, Protestants, just like getting so mad. But Rudolf, too, he doesn't care about that shit. He does not want to do it. What he wants to do is he wants to talk to his many court astrologers. He wants to go and make the philosopher's stone. He wants to do a little bit of alchemy. He wants to look at his paintings. He wants to like freaking go to his cabinet of curiosities where he keeps like a unicorn horn and like wild animals, and also like all kinds of other like treasures and things like that. It's kind of like his nest.
And literally an astrology girly with I'm picturing this is super niche, but if you've been to the Alamo Draft House in downtown Brooklyn,
please, I love her. I'm very familiar with her work.
And the bar is called House of Wax, and then they just have like
literally
synthetic feedi floating in jars. Like that's what I'm picturing when you describe.
Yes, he did have actually a lot of like mummified stuff in there. Like he had like mummified remains, because he's a really cool normal, I mean, like, okay, so I really identify with him in a lot of ways, because like
your spirit Habsburg.
Yeah, like if I was a Habsburg, I feel like I would be him. He also apparently was somewhat tolerant to the Jews, which we'll take it.
Thank you. The bar is the floor, but
yeah,
anything like, short of genocide, you're a hero.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, just a pogrom, that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do a pogrom. Pogroms are why brunch 4 generations later is always going to be weird with family. But
and why there is brunch on the Lower East Side in the first place.
That's actually so
how we got there.
Right. Oh my God. Yeah, so that's my spirit Habsburg. No, I shouldn't say that. That's my Habsburg I would be in another life. Because, okay, so Orly, do you ever watch shows like Kitchen Nightmares with Gordon Ramsay?
Yes, my sisters are obsessed with it. So it was a lot of that when I was, with her for
That's
Christmas.
perfect. It's so perfect. And like I love a show like that when it's like a mean person with an accent being like, this business is so dirty and so bad. You guys are doing awful. This food is really terrible. Your salon is bad. Because Tabitha from Tabitha's Salon Takeover also falls in this genre. But and in that show, there's always, as you know, like the flop employee who's like, I took pictures of myself cleaning, so you can't say I don't clean. Like, he's just like, doesn't do anything. He doesn't know anything. He's like, and like him and Gordon Ramsay become enemies. Like they are not good. He's like, why are you so lazy and bad? And he's like, I think I'm actually just creative and have a big vision for this space. That's kind of this guy. And like, that's also me, where like, I fantasize about my workplace being taken over by a mean British person or a mean Australian lady. That's obviously my dream. But I know in my heart of hearts that I would be that person that they're yelling at, where they're like, why don't you do anything? And I'm like, stop. This guy's kind of that. Like, he's like, I really don't want to be doing this, like, ruling stuff. I really don't want to hear these fucking people talking about, like, unrest in their land and blah, blah, blah. My neighbor's Protestant, my neighbor's Catholic. What you should be looking up is what your neighbor's rising sign is, That's what you should be doing. He was very into, like horses, clocks, all kinds of just like he really would have thrived in another life.
Yeah, and if it weren't for the dumb monarchy, he wouldn't have been hired to rule. Like he had the jaw for the job.
Absolutely. Absolutely. He literally
but none
just
of the aptitude.
No aptitude. All he did was just have the longest jaw in Austria, and they said, "You're in, kid."
I wonder if like he's gotten the Bridgerton treatment yet. And did you watch Queen Charlotte?
No, I've watched up to season 1 and 2 of Bridgerton, and I want to get back in the universe. I think it is ultimately for me.
Yeah, Queen Charlotte. It's King George the Third, the king who got American revolutions has, despite like all of the animosity, gets to be portrayed as such a hot guy, whether it's Jonathan Groff in Hamilton or Corey Milcreast in Queen Charlotte.
I'm looking up this man right now.
Yes, beautiful man, beautiful eyebrows. But the vibe there was like, he was
stunning,
right? And but it's interesting. I was gonna say like the show is hot, but I like it's pre-heated rivalry. I don't know if we get any, but
I mean, look, I feel like heated rivalry is like kind of like when you have so much dopamine at once that you're like it desensitizes you to everything else. Like maybe you're like, there's no hole. What am I? Not that hole. They don't show hole.
I don't think we get hole on Queen Charlotte, but that's another sad boy king who just wants to like look into his telescope and presumably is like the only person in the world with a telescope.
Like I know they were so like like they got just access to everything. And like, like they had tried pineapples and like no one else that they knew had ever had one. And they were like, yeah, I've had it. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's so.
Just being a royal person back then is so like, it's just like kind of crazy but like literally like you just were born and then you got like just like a crazy amount of stuff. And like everyone was like, God picked you to be here. And it's just kind of wild to think about.
And like no paparazzi. Like if you're gonna be a royal pre-paparazzi, pre-camera phones, because
literally,
the Prince Harry memoir is super good. I listened to it on audiobook just so it's like, oh, he's talking to me, where it's like,
oh my God,
it's like full of gossip. So it's
absolutely
so yeah, like feels like
like a friend's in your ear.
Yeah, spilling tea with the girls, and the girl is Prince Harry. But then he talks about how painful it is to be like born into this job, followed. But if you're a Habsburg emperor in the 17th century, like you don't have that issue.
No, not at all. Like he just like truly, he has like a ton of court artists, and he's like just in charge of how they paint him. And one guy, he was literally like, make me into fruits and vegetables. And there's like this one like semi-famous painting of him where he's like literally just like his face is cucumbers.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so he's just really having a good time in there. But like he is also like mentally unwell. Like it's cute. It's cute for a second, and then they're like, "Oh, you're legitimately like not mentally doing well at all." He's very melancholy. He's like up all hours of the night. He's very like, "Oh, I don't want to do this." Like, he'd be punching that drywall. He was also having a ton of affairs, which isn't like bad, like he was never married and he was just kind of fucking around. But his one son was a murderer, one of them.
Ooh,
One
oh
of
my
his little
gosh.
bastards.
A
Yeah.
Nepo baby.
Nepo baby literally was crazy. But yeah, basically he issues like all of like whenever there'd be like a religious dispute or whatever, he'd like issue a like decree of toleration, which I think, and like real historians, if you're listening, like feel free to chime in, feel free to like comment, because it's not peer reviewed or whatever. But I think he was like basically just like issuing these decrees that are like, figure it out yourself, do what you want. Like, I don't know. He wasn't really dealing with the issues. And he like kind of, I think, accidentally, well, no, he was just fucking up in general. And then his brother Matthias is like, you gotta go. And his brother Matthias is very into Catholics. So after he's like, my brother's too crazy, man, I gotta get in there. And they do. He's just giving all the Catholics in Austria and Holy Roman Empire like all this power because he's like, oh my God, I love the drama, I love the robes, like
Yes.
why are Protestant churches so ugly? This is so good. And then so he like gives the Catholics a lot of power.
Did he kill his brother or just like do a cute little
I think
coup?
he like did like a little. He put him in a little. What do they call it? A grippy sock vacation.
Yeah.
He sent him on a grippy sock vacation. To I guess some castle and he died pretty soon after. Yeah. So then, a new guy comes on the throne, and then at the same time, like all of these like Catholic officials are being annoying in Prague, and then a bunch of Protestant like nobles have an uprising and they push the Catholic officials out a third-story window, and they really don't take kindly to that. They're like, we wish you hadn't done that. So then they have a freaking like civil war first, just between like Holy Roman Empire Catholics and Protestants. And then like, just everyone else starts going in. Like France is like, we're Catholic, but we'll help the Protestants just to like fuck with the HRE. Spain's like, help it. It's just like, it gets so crazy. And it's all because one guy didn't want to do his job, which is very relatable, but.
Yeah, it keeps going. It like starts as a religious war, but then naturally, as they so often do, just became about like land. I know the Swedes got involved because they're like,
yes,
oh shit, we don't like the great power rivalry. We don't want.
Yeah, they're like, actually, we're kind of a big deal, and I wish we were in this. I wish we were in this.
Yeah, is everyone having a European war without me? Just like felt so left
funny.
out and was
no,
like,
exactly. Oh, that's such a good, like, how like, when the Ottoman Empire is like randomly in World War I, we're like, oh, like when I saw it the first time, I was like, oh, we're still doing that? We're still doing empires? That's crazy. But they were in it. But
that is fun. That like brings me to another question. So like,
of course.
I like learning about past empires because it's like good practice, because like right now like the American century is ending, but like it'll be okay. Like Austria still exists. Like they're not the most popular on the planet, but like they're doing fine.
They're doing fine. Like, yeah, no, I think we do have to get ready for like, what the new society is going to look like. So I don't think this one's lasting too much longer. I think she's on her last legs. But like,
yeah, you're American. Do you have to be the hegemon on top of the world, or is it just like, okay, we don't have to be the main character? I mean, people just want to live their lives.
I would love. It's like I would love again. I just want to be boring. I want our times to be boring and like nothing to happen. Everyone was like, they grew food and like did some art. But, like now we have this fucking shit. But I think that you and I, if it does go to the shit, we should like try and like Habsburg, and like you can be Canada and I'll be US and we'll make it work.
Ooh, fun. Yeah. I Yeah, I'll have to learn my rising sign.
Ooh, wait,
Eh,
do you think that MAGA face?
Yeah,
Do you think that's
Mar-a-Lago
kind of like,
face is the
yeah, like
clinical term.
absolutely, yeah, when your face just looks like that. Um, but that's kind of the modern day equivalent of the Habsburg jaw. Like it's kind of like a
Ooh,
signifier, like this person's probably done a war crime.
yeah.
Ah!
It- yeah, that's so funny. That's yeah.
It's like really interesting. Wow, I might truly write that down after
You
whatever.
should.
I should.
And it's just as it's all about heightens facial features, like people rolling into Miami, like give me the Mar-a-Lago, but
Absolutely.
let's go further back in time. Give me the Habsburg.
Yeah, break this and let's stretch it down, okay? Like let's get me some implants for my jaw.
This is
Um,
this is my appeal to like those looks maxing dudes. Like that's a whole thing.
literally. Like if you're trying to be like this powerful alpha male, who is more of a powerful alpha male than the Holy Roman Empire emperor? Like you should be, doing the jaw exercises to get it down and not just out. It should be like ideally brush and collarbone. You can't go like that comfortably. That's what women want.
Yeah, we should collectively
Oh,
gaslight all like Gen Alpha, the men to bringing back to be Habsburgmaxxing.
I think that honestly, I think we could do it. I think if we get enough people and we get the movement going, I think that could be just like a little bit of levity in these sad, trying times. I'd like something to laugh at that's not like awful.
Yeah, and something the defenestrations of Prague is one of my favorite just like Wikipedia pages because
Absolutely.
there is multiple of them. Like I can't imagine like once one Catholic guy is thrown out of a third story window, like who is climbing the stairs at that point? Like the stakes are too high. Like
No,
there's
literally, it's like you're having another meeting, not on the first floor. That's insane.
yeah, that's there no self-preservation. Have you been to Prague? It's on my list. I know like everyone goes. My cousin, like I remember it like got a shirt that says check me out, spelled
Oh,
the
wait, that's chic.
Czech
If that was a
way.
little baby
Yeah.
tea, I would want that right now.
I bet. Yeah, like Brandy Melville for
Oh,
the Czech
God. Oh,
Department of Tourism.
no, I have never been to Prague. I feel like I probably would like it,
I want to walk
but
us
I
through
don't know. Like,
I want to walk us through the multiple okay, the 1618 defenestration of Prague was actually the third, so like in the trilogy, so it was like an established Czech custom to throw people out of windows, or at least it happens at
oh my
least
God.
twice. Oh my
Wait,
gosh, yeah,
that's brilliant.
1419, first defenestration of Prague involved the killing of several members of the city council by a crowd of Czech Hussites.
Hussites? We
Yeah,
read it?
the Hussite wars, the pro-Hussite Bohemian nobles to take control of Bohemia.
Ooh.
Ooh, and then the Pope responded by declaring a crusade of Wycliffites, Hussites, and all other heretics in Bohemia. So, like, yeah,
Wait, also the phrase declaring a crusade is crazy. Like,
yeah, I'm picturing literally Michael Scott being like, I declare
they're
bankruptcy.
bankruptcy. Absolutely. Wait, that is actually, I've never thought about that. The fact that they still were like, no, this time it's going to be different. They're definitely not going to throw people out of a window again. And then they're like, oh, fuck. They did it again. They got us. And they didn't die. So they probably just had like a real bad broken arm, or like probably worse.
Yeah,
I'm actually shocked they didn't die.
well, I guess, yeah, only third story. If it were like today and someone got thrown out of the window, like then they'd like be on the press tour about like and like do the war propaganda against the Protestants. But like again, they just had to rely on word of mouth to radicalize people against Protestants. Word of mouth
I
or the Pope?
know.
Sounds like the Pope does a lot of.
Absolutely. Oh my God. Wow. Like, it's like we've almost horseshoed back. Because, like, you know how, like, you read about old society and you're like, that was so insane. Like, that's actually a crazy thing. But then you look at where we're at now and you're like, I feel like we've horseshoed to like where it's like almost we're getting there. Like we're about to like be like kind of Middle Ages vibes, you know?
For
Not that-
sure.
yeah.
Yeah, I feel like at least like once a month, one of the like socialist meme accounts I follow like points
Love.
out that economic disparity is worse today than it was during the French Revolution.
Are you serious?
Yeah, like
That's
someone
crazy.
crunched the numbers and
Thank
like
God.
it's even worse.
Oh my God. Wait, this is my chance though to be Madame Thénardier.
Yeah.
That's like low key my dream role.
I'm so sorry to do this, but because I do feel
No,
the need to fact check. Les
please.
Miserables is not about the French Revolution. It is about a student uprising that took place in Paris. It takes place in the 19th century.
Wait,
So
is it the like the 1848? The Paris Commune?
yes, but the French Revolution was 1787.
No, I know. I just like I had no. What the fuck is the book about No, the book's probably not. Fuck.
Yeah, so it's like 100 years later.
Oh my God, they really. Is that just me like not knowing things? Or I
No,
feel like
it's a
that's
common
something that like
thing.
everyone thinks, right? That it's about the French. That's a
I feel
really
like
good-
it's one of those like Bernstein Bears, like Mandela
Oh, the
effect
Mandela
things.
effects. Absolutely.
Everyone
That-
sees people marching and singing
and
to
like
the,
you know the flags and everything.
and yeah, just
Damn.
assumes that they're storming the Bastille, but
That's I know because like imagine if Marie Antoinette was there, that would make it even better. Imagine if Kristen Chenoweth was there doing
Yeah.
Queen of Versailles on the side just by herself.
yeah, I missed it. But it sounds like I didn't miss out on anything.
No, and like I haven't even seen it, and I'm not even like that big of it.
It
Like
closed.
it closed, but I went on a deep dive about like why it closed. I was like listening to this, like I got very fascinated by it. I don't know why. It's just one of those stories that compelled me.
Yeah, that brings me to my next question. So Rudolf II, what, like one of your guys, like
Yeah.
how did you get into history? Like, were you a history major, or did you just have like a good, like, I feel like that's the kind of thing that would be in a bathroom book about like various eccentrics of Europe.
I know. I do just okay. So I have a now defunct history podcast, which you know, in full disclosure, I did do an episode about the 30 Years War, so that's why I like know about it.
No, that's the
But-
best crossover
yeah.
episode.
Yeah, like literally, crossover episode with a podcast I want no one to ever Google or find.
Okay.
But how did I get into it? Yes, I was just like always good at it, and I think like more than anything, my passion in this world is talking shit.
Yeah.
And like like gossiping and getting the tea and sharing information and just like just having a gap, and like history is kind of that, because it's literally just like, especially the history of the royals and stuff, like that is literally just like who's fucking and who's sucking. Like, and I just am like, wait, this is insane. And it's the part of me, I think, true, like, and I mean this in true honesty, the part of me that loves like Real Housewives and things like that is also the part of me that loves history and thinks it's very interesting and very fun to explore.
Yes. Yeah, for the people who weren't at the show, you gave an incredible presentation on people from history who would make Real Housewives. Who was the princess of Suriname?
Oh my God, Princess Caraboo. Is that the
Yeah,
one
tell
who like,
us about
that
Princess
diva.
Caraboo.
oh my
Which,
God.
if
one
not
of
the
my
Real
most-
Housewives, she'd do great on Drag Race because that's an incredible name.
Literally, she absolutely would have been like one of those queens on like early Drag Race, where you look at her drag now and you're like, I don't know, but then at the time it really was something.
Yeah, no,
But-
everyone has. There's Mar-A-Lago face, and then Drag Race All Stars face. Like it's like the
Like,
same amount
truly.
of filler, but the separate side of the political compass.
And just like applied just ever so. Although maybe honestly, I'd love to see them side by side, or that should be a quiz, like if it's Mar-a-Lago face or Drag Race face.
That's so funny. Oh my,
Oh
that should
my
be a
God.
game show.
That
Just the lips.
Yes, the lips, and then like the eyes that are all like
yeah.
freaking yanked. Oh my God. But yeah, Princess Caraboo. This is my diva, my doll. I say that about all these people who've done objectively bad things. I'm like, that's my friend. He's really annoying and his family is very bad. But Princess Caraboo is this girl named Mary she's born in poverty. Flop, she's bored. Yuck, stinky. So what she decides to do is dress up like a Javanese princess, which is British racism for Indonesian person. She's like, yeah, I'm a princess from the island of Java, and she goes to this random English town and starts like just making up a language. And then they're like, oh my God, obviously this girl is speaking what they speak in Java. She's such a foreign beauty. Oh my God, she's a princess from another land.
And did that just mean she had brown hair? Yeah.
She had literally brown hair. She spent like a couple extra days in the sun and put a turban on her head and was like, ugh. It was Rachel Dolezal.
Yeah. Yeah, the OG Rachel Dolezal.
The OG. Oh my God, everything
History
is
repeats
cyclical.
itself.
I know.
Yeah.
Wow, I've never heard that before. But you're so right. No, so she's like just being like, I'm a princess, and then like she gets like stay at like the local noble guy's house, and like she's like hanging out at his mansions and meeting everyone. Everyone's like, oh my gosh, she's so enchanting. And they run a little article about her where they draw a picture, and then her landlady writes to the newspaper and is like, excuse me, that's a washerwoman named Mary and she owes me money. She owes me a lot of money. And then she's like, oh no. And then she gets found out, and then she has to spend the rest of her life selling medical leeches by the side of the road.
Oh my God. And medical leeches, that's one thing I don't miss that we don't need to bring back.
Oh, I would just be like, just let it kill me. I'm not doing the leech. I'm good on that. Like,
that's so funny, like how close she was to getting away with it if it weren't for the meddling illustrator. Like if the illustrator for the newspaper were worse at his job.
I know, he was too talented. And he like was really like, I think this is just a white British lady, and I'm going to really emphasize that. I don't know. It's just bananas.
So we got Rudolf II, Princess Caraboo. Like who else are your girlies that you never get to talk about?
Yeah, in my cabinet of curiosities.
Yeah, your own house of wax.
Yes, where I'm just like, these are all my treasure, which I also kind of feel like I have that too, with like just like the sheer amount of like little trinkets I have all over my room, all these little like figurines and like, like a cracked plate from the thrift store. I'm like, I think it's
the best.
Nice. Yeah.
And this is the golden age of emotional support candles. Like I literally have 3 next to me.
Because times are hard.
Yeah,
times
like
are
get
bad.
the fucking tchotchke, man. Like,
oh my God. It's just like, wait, can I ask you a totally off-topic question that has nothing to do with war? Are you messy? Like, are you?
Oh my gosh,
where are you on the messy neat spectrum?
Oh my gosh, definitely. I'm respectful in public spaces, but left to my own devices, I am objectively messy. That I'm grateful that, like, this is a very limited side of the room. All the shit that was all the shit that was at the foot of the bed is now just at the top of the bed.
Okay.
Which
Diva?
like, thank you. Yeah, they say like, there is some like inspirational quote about like smart people have messy desks. Like an empty desk is like an empty mind. Like I feel like I've seen that to self-soothe somewhere.
Yeah, and I there's 2 wolves inside me. One wolf really believes that's true, and another wolf is like, aren't you tired of finding W2s on the floor?
Yeah.
That Paige Smith Hogan has a joke about that, about how she builds her nest of W2s on the floor of her room. And I'm like, the fact that I really identify with that is concerning. Like, I shouldn't keep tax documents on the floor. They should probably be in like a trapper keeper or something.
Trapper keepers. That's another historical relic.
Oh my God. And you know who would have loved them is freaking Rudolf. He would have put all his sad little art in there. You would be like, these are my pictures. Oh, sometimes it's just sad to hear about people who just like would have thrived just a couple years later, It's hard.
Yeah, it sounded like, wait, so he commissioned artwork of him as a cucumber? That's like he invented Snapchat filters.
He did. He literally did. He had such a mind. He was like, I am going to, I'm going to make such cool art. And like, of course, when he died, everyone was like, look at this floppy garbage, this freaking crazy flop like had. And they just like gave it to like some random museum. And I think like now people look at his collection and are like, okay, yeah, like he had a vision and we see it. But after he died, everyone was like, ew. It's like when you go through like it's kind of like, the thrift store where you're like, is this ugly or is it cute? And I think a lot of them went ugly, but then you hold on to it a couple of years and then it's cute. And that's why I never throw out any clothes, even though I need to.
Yeah.
Because it always could come back because history is a circle.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, I the I know that the phrase "those who fail to learn from history are doomed to repeat it" is not about low-rise jeans, but
They-
like that's what it
It's
feels
also
like.
not about it, like.
I see all the teens out with their bellies out, and it's like, oh my gosh, I
Oh my God. First of all, anytime you see a teen in public, I'm like, I feel wrong for
terrifying.
looking at you. I
Yeah.
feel weird for noticing you in the street. Oh my God. Like when I was leaving work one day and it was the Tate McRae concert and there was like
Oh
a
my God.
lot of 11-year-olds in leather tube tops just like running around the train. And I'm like, this is stressing me. Like, no hate, all love. Like, I hope you divas are having the best time at Tate McRae. It's not you. It's me just getting in my head about being old or like, I don't
Yeah.
know. Just seeing a teen in public, just sometimes it can affect you emotionally sometimes when you don't want it to.
I guess a teen in a tube top, at first that's upsetting, but then I guess like that's the time to wear a tube top is before you grow boobs
Absolutely.
and need a bra.
Literally.
So it's like the time to take advantage of, strapless fashion is before
I
you
didn't
grow
know what
boobs.
I've actually have never considered, because like now, like, I see a strapless dress. I'm like, fucking not me, not with these Jewish
Yeah, exactly. Shtetl
airbags.
boobs.
Shtetl
Yeah.
boobs to feed many children during hard winters.
Yeah.
Like truly. And I just like, I used to wear like strapless dresses. I'm like, that's crazy that just like, now I'm just like, that simply can't happen anymore. It would hurt and I can't do it. I don't know. They do just become more cumbersome as you age.
Yeah. And I feel like fashion, but I guess Freudian slip, like
On the brain.
penalizes. Yeah. I feel like we're being penalized for having breasts. Like it's been
Literally.
hundreds of years.
Why
I guess
aren't we innovating? Why are we not making strapless bras less awful? Like, I don't know how they would, because I know it's just got to do that.
you could put
But,
a
like,
man on the moon, but you can't keep boobs at eye level.
Eye level. It's like, yeah, that's my eyes are up here, bitch.
Yeah. But
Oh
then
man.
there should be an episode just on like the history of boobs, and to tie things back to Bridgerton, like people went through great lengths to manufacture boobs where there were none, like pushing things up and
absolutely.
out with the
like
corset.
their little necklines with their corset, like they looked amazing.
And they were allowed to have
we
boobs.
would have done well if no one found out we were Jewish. We would have
Yeah.
we would have been diamonds of the damn season.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but Bridgerton fashion. Have you heard that thing? Wartime fashion is also really interesting. Like, just how it changes and like, oh, we have to make the uniforms, so we have to wear these skirts made out of carpets. It's like very like random. And then also, I think it's actually economic recession, like where skirts get longer during fashion gets more conservative. At first I thought it was during wartime, but I think it might just be during like economic recession. But
Oh, interesting. Like,
yes,
you'd think that people would, if they can't afford things, then like clothes would have less material, but no, it's just people get more conservative.
no, literally, yeah, they just are like, I mean, that's kind of like why, like, I think the old money, about the old money aesthetic and stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, where it's like, that's a Shein suit. Like, that looks crazy. But I think, there is something with the rise of that aesthetic and then also, the fascists and stuff. Oh my God. Remember when I was supposed to distract you from thinking about the fascists? And now we're doing this. And now we're doing freaking this.
No, we're Jewish. I know the fact that we made it to like 40 minutes without talking about fascism is a Jewish record.
It's I know, literally, it's such a miracle.
To bring things back to Rudolf II
Absolutely.
before we wrap. So we were talking about fascism, and something we're lacking is that like at least monarchs, like if there's gonna be the absolute rule, the economic inequality, like it sounds like that, like at least Rudolf II was a patron of the arts.
Absolutely. No, That's my beef with Silicon Valley. I'm like, at least Rockefellers built libraries and museums. Like, you're just like, I'm going to build a computer to do art for us so that you can go back to inputting things on spreadsheets. Like, I
It's so,
don't know.
and like either stay in your lane, be a tech company. Don't
do
buy
art.
CBS and TikTok now. Like, ugh.
Yeah. Oh, CBS really did get so flop. It got so bad.
So just leave us alone. So Silicon Valley, like, if you really are like have the divine right of kings,
Which they like think they do for sure.
Yeah, if you are a god emperor, then act like a Holy Roman Empire.
Act like the HRE. Give me some portraits. Go and try and make the Philosopher's Stone, which I'm sure you actually probably really do have people on. So, just doing alchemy.
Wait, so that's not just a thing from the franchise that shall not be named? Like, the Philosopher's Stone was a real thing?
Yes, it's like I mean, like, it does like what it says in the books that I never read, never will, and disavow. Where it like makes you live forever and it turns all metal into gold. And Rudolf was really convinced that he could crack the case. He was really in his little lab being like, look what I got. And like, he apparently, like, people would scam him. Sometimes he'd be like, no, trust me, I'm like the best alchemist. You have no idea. It's like, I'm so good. And like, he would get scammed like over and over. He'd be like, oh my God, another charlatan. Oh God. Okay, but you're different though, right? You're not like the other ones. And then
he was a job creator. Like, in doing so, he like gave money to his constituents, to the hustlers.
Yeah, if you honestly, when I see like a grift done for good, I'm so happy. Like, there's that girl online, this Black woman, and she like did a thing where she was like, oh, I'm a Black Republican and I got kicked out of my home and oh, I need money for college. And then like everyone in MAGA was like, oh my God, like, it's so hard when the woke, intolerant left is coming for you. And they gave her a bunch of money. And then she's like, got your ass. Like, I'm liberal and I'm going to use this money for college. Like, screw
that
you.
Rules. I thought you were going to say, like, I'm going to use this money for an abortion. Joke's on you.
Like, nah, she that we should have that for free. No, it's joke's on you, freaking woke libs.
Ethical grifters. The Elizabeth Holmes, like, if she weren't also scamming cancer patients and was just taking money from war criminals, like, she'd be a hero.
Absolutely. Like defrauding investors. I love that. Like, when they're like, oh, we lied to them, like, and I'm like, that is bad objectively, but I'm also just like, I don't feel bad for them. Like, I'm like, oh no, Citibank. Like, I was listening to some like scam. It was about this girl who did this fake microloan business and then this fake business where she said that she had a third-party website to do the FAFSA online. That turned out to not be true. Anyway, she got Citibank to pay for all of her legal fees, and Citibank's like complaining. They're like, we bought your company for too much money. And she's like the villain. I'm like, I don't feel bad for Citibank. I think more people should be scamming Citibank. Like, not to be a bitch
and
to Citibank.
Yeah, and on Adelphi, like, she also just posed as an heiress.
She was so Princess Caraboo.
Oh my God, history repeats itself. Now
Literally.
that we got a call back. It's
a gorgeous way to
let's wrap things up. Where can people find you?
I'm on Instagram. It's at Emily Baker, but it's MLEE Baker. I'm going to be bringing Antique Joke Show back probably in April. So look out for that. And when I do a show called Flop Sauce, and it's very good. And if you're in Brooklyn, you should come. Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. And Flop Sauce, it's not about Rudolf II, though he would qualify.
He's a flop of a lifetime, you know? He's not even just a flop of a week or a month. Like, R.I.P. Rudolf II. You would have loved performing at my open mic at Secret Tour.
Exactly. Well, I'll see you there.
I'll see you there. Thank you again.
Thank you for listening and or watching War is Stupid, an anti-war podcast about war. Please subscribe, rate and review, tell your dads, We'll see you next time.